Well now, gather round. It's Tucker again, sitting out where the stars lean close and the crickets keep a steady tune. Nights like this are good for stories, the kind that carry you gentle towards sleep. This one's about a little girl named June who lived over in Blackberry Fork, where the road runs out of pavement and the creek sings all night long. June was curious as a kitten and had a hound named Pepper, loyal as sunrise. Now folks in Blackberry Fork told of a strange thing, the church bell that rang though it had no rope. Blackberry Church had lost its steeple years back. Lightning cracked it good, but the bell was set down under a sourwood tree. Still on foggy nights, neighbors swore they heard it, toll slow and low. Some said it was the wind, others said metal settling, but most believed it was Alma May, the old bell keeper, keeping her promise to guide wanderers home. June grew up hearing it. Her granddaddy said he'd heard it as a boy. Her mama claimed when she was young and lost in fog, Alma May herself showed up with a lantern and set her right. June wanted to hear it with her own ears, not just in stories. One hot July night, the air heavy and still lee, the world hushed. Pepper perked up and then it came. One soft, low note rolling out from Blackberry Church. Bonning. June froze on the porch steps. Mama looked toward the hollow with mist in her eyes. Again the bell tolled. Bong, far and near all at once. Mama, June whispered. Somebody's out there. Mama's voice was gentle. Sometimes the mountain remembers for us. But June's heart was tied to that sound like a ribbon on the wind. She promised not to go far. Mama nodded once, gave her the small tin lamp and said, "If the bell goes silent, you come home." So June and Pepper slipped into the night. The fog curled low around the sassafras, the leaves soft against her fingers as she passed. The bell tolled once more, then faded, leaving only a honey-colored light glowing faintly ahead. It wasn't her lamp, it just hung there in the mist, steady and patient. Pepper followed without hesitation, tail wagging slow. They climbed the rise behind the church into the graveyard where names leaned on old stones. June read a few out loud. Euladine, baby Joseph, because she'd been taught saying a name kept it alive. Then she saw it, the great iron bell resting under the sourwood tree, cool with dew, its mouth dark and still, yet the honey light hovered close, as if waiting. June laid her palm on the bell. "Miss Alma May," she whispered, "I just wanted to know what a promise sounds like." And though the bell did not swing, it breathed. A soft hum rose, not in her ears but in her chest, like the memory of a song. She saw flashes, miners lost in fog, mothers carrying sick children, boys daring too far into the woods, all turning back the right way because some gentle sound steadied them. She felt Alma May's hand on the rope, her voice carrying through the hills. "Keep to the left of the sassafras. You'll find the road that finds you back." Tears pricked June's eyes. "Thank you," she said. "I'll remember." The honey light thinned, laying itself across the fog like a shawl. Pepper sighed deep, content. June kissed the rim of the bell and found 2 letters scratched there. A and M, she smiled, always minding. They walked home as the fog lifted, crickets singing again. Mama met 'em at the gate. Did you find what you went looking for? June smiled, holding the lamp close. I think it found me. From that night on, June carried the bell in her heart. She listened when the mountains hushed. She helped neighbors who lost their way. And though the blackberry bell rang less and less, folks still felt it. Sometimes in a kind word, sometimes in a lantern left burning, sometimes in the way a little girl grew into a woman who remembered a promise. And when the years rolled on, folks began to say that June herself was a little like Alma May. Travelers swore her porch light never seemed to go out, and children in the holler said you could hear her voice steady as the creek when you needed it most. Maybe the bell had chosen her, or maybe she had chosen it. Truth is, in these hills, sometimes it's hard to tell the difference. As time passed, June had children of her own. On foggy nights, she would walk them up to the sourwood tree where the bell rested and let their small hands touch the iron rim. She'd tell them, this is how the mountains keep their promises. And when her youngest once asked, Mama, do you think it still rings? June just smiled and said, if you listen with your heart, you'll hear it plain as day. Years later still, when June's hair was silver and Pepper's great-grandpup lay at her feet, she rocked on that same porch with a grandchild on her lap. The fog crept in gentle and she leaned down to whisper the story again. The bell, Alma May, the lantern in the mist. The child's eyes grew wide, just as hers once had. And June smiled, knowing the story would live on past her. For that's how it works in these mountains. A promise doesn't stop when one voice grows quiet. It carries on in another like a bell's note rolling across the ridges. And as long as somebody remembers to listen, the Bell of Blackberry Fork will never truly fall silent. So if you ever find yourself in the fog with the road slipping away, don't be afraid. Stop, listen deep, and you might feel it too. The Bell of Blackberry Fork still keeping its vow, guiding folks safe on their way home. That's all for tonight, friends. Rest easy, let the night sound sing you to sleep, and may the good Lord bless you till morning. Your old pal Tucker will keep the home light burning for you. We hope you've been enjoying our little program here. These old tales mean a lot to me and Dixie. We appreciate all of y'all who have subscribed and commented on our little videos, and we pray that the good Lord blesses all y'all. It is a real blessing and privilege to tell these old tales, to keep passing them on down from one generation to the next.